What's up, all my UX Turtles, droids, and Wookiees? It's Anna, also known as Star Wars Girl, and in today's video, I'm going to be talking about how we're going to be getting a Lord of the Rings full-length feature animated movie. Interesting. Alright, I got this article up, so let me see what they have officially released, and then I'll explain to you guys a little breakdown of what this story actually is about. So let's see here. Lord of the Rings, The War of the Rohirrim, anime feature set for April 2024 release by Warner Brothers exclusive. I wonder then why they're, doing all these announcements in 2022. Try and build up that hype. They're going to try to piggyback off of that shit show that, is, what is it? Lord of the Downgrades, as I like to call it, or the Amazon show. So let's continue. The original anime feature from New Line Cinema and Warner Brothers Animation is set for release in April 12th, 2024. From Warner Brothers Pictures, Variety can report exclusively. Set roughly 2 centuries before the events of J.R.R. Tolkien's The Hobbit, The Lord of the Rings, The War of the Rohirrim will explore the exploits of Helm Hammerhead, the King of Rohan, and creation of Helm's Deep, the stronghold featured in Peter Jackson's Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers. Kinji... Oh, I'm going to butcher his last name. I apologize. The TV series Blade Runner Black Lotus and Ghost in the Shell standalone complex is directing with Blade Runner Black Locust producer Joseph Cho through his anime studio Solar Entertainment, or excuse me, Sola, which has been working on the films since it was announced in June 2021. As can be seen in this exclusive first look at conceptual art from the film, The War of the Rohirrim is also drawing much of its creative DNA from Jackson's 6th feature set in Middle-earth. That is good to hear that it's set on that and not this shit show that they're trying to market to us as Lord of the Rings. Philippa Boyens, who was part of the Oscar-winning screenwriting team for The Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit trilogies, is executive producing the film. Phoebe Gittins, Boyan's daughter and writing partner Artie, oh my goodness, I have no idea how to say this last name, are pinning the screenplay based on the script from Jeffrey Addis's and Will Matthews. And the creative team includes Richard Taylor, who won Oscars for makeup and visual effects from The Lord of the Rings, Alan Lee, who won an Oscar from the art direction of The Lord of the Rings, and Tolkien illustrator John Howe. Voice cast announcements are expected soon. I'm in awe of the creative talent who have come together to bring this epic, heart-pounding story to life, from the mastery, excuse me. It's a bad reading day for me. Excuse me, guys, I'm severely dyslexic, so bear with me. Of Kinji, and to a truly stellar cast, Boyan says. The Lord of the Rings films took Tolkien's masterwork to new cinematic heights and inspiration in a genre, said Warner Brothers Picture Group chairman Toby Emmerich. It's a gift to be able to revisit Middle-earth with many of the same creative visionaries and the talented Kinji at the helm. This will be an epic portrayal unlike anything audience have ever seen. Warner Brothers' movements on the anime Lord of the Rings film comes at a time when the studios in dispute with Sal Zantzko, the longtime owner of the Lord of the Rings film and TV rights, over whether Warner Brothers has done enough development on the franchise to maintain its hold on a live-action animated film rights. Variety reported last week that Zantzco putting its Tolkien holdings on the block, which spurred questions about Lord of the Rings activity within Warner Brothers. The last live-action Tolkien film, 2014's The Hobbit, The Battle of the Five Armies, grossed $940 million worldwide. All 6 films have earned over $5.8 billion. The Lord of the Rings and The Return of the King won 11 Oscars, including Best Picture, trying the record for a single movie. The War of the Rohirrim is also totally separate from Amazon Prime's Middle-earth Burrito series. That's the best news we have about this. Fuck yeah. The Lord of the Rings, the Rings of Power, you mean the Rings of the Downgrade, which is set a millennia before the events of Jackson's movies. All right, so now that we have all of that and we have this extremely good news, and they should have opened with this, probably would have gotten more clicks. Okay, so let me explain to you guys a little bit about what this story is going to, have within it, because it's probably going to end with my speculation based on what does actually happen in this timeline, with, a really big bah moment for audiences. Alright, so now to give you guys a little bit of a breakdown of what the story is actually going to be about. So this story is going to be about this king his name is Helm Hammerhand. And the reason why he gets that name is because he is famous for killing a guy with his bare hands. So it's going to take place obviously in Rohan, and there's going to be, a huge battle at Helm's Deep. Now, let me just give you a little breakdown of Rohan. So this is, the capital of the kingdom, and so obviously you guys can see Helm's Deep over here. So basically Helm is the king of Rohan, and there are some bad guys that come from up north here, and then they go down and they take over Isengard. And then there's another guy that's over, it's a little bit off, but this was the best quality map that I could find, just offhand. And so there's another guy that took over this other kingdom over here that's somehow related to Helm, and basically he's like, yo, I want to marry your daughter. So he travels all the way to Helm's castle and is like, yo, man, I don't want to marry your daughter. I want my son to marry your daughter. Helm's like, yeah, no, dude, you're a fucking bad guy. Get the hell out of my castle. They go out, and Helm's like, we're going to handle this like men outside. And he kills him with, basically one punch to his skull, and, kills him with his bare hands. And so that's how he became known as Helm Hammerhand. And then the dude's son that wanted to marry Helm's daughter, his name is Wolf. Him and the bad guys that took over Isengard decide that they are going to come and fight and try to take over Rohan. And so they actually do. They actually, take over the castle. They take over the main city, and Helm and his son have to flee to Helm's Deep, and stand them off. And then his nephew has to flee into the mountains. And during this time, Helm loses, there's a great winter, and Helm's oldest son, I believe, actually dies when the bad guys take over the city. And then his other son, I know, it doesn't say that he dies, but they never are seen from again, because there's this intense winter which prevents anyone like Gondor from helping them. So there's this huge winter, basically an intense blizzard that takes over. So while Helm and his son were at Helm's Deep, they're starting to run out of food because of this intense winter. So his last son is like, I'm going to take a party out of Helm's Deep, and we are going to go out and try to find food, and they're never seen from again. And in his anger and grief and frustration with being stuck at this castle, his enemy is in his throne, he's surrounded by all these bad guys, he decides to go out into the snow and start killing people, with his bare hands. And he also has, obviously the horn, like the horn of Gondor, as you guys can see right here. And so he blows his horn, and that's how people know where he is. And because he is such a notorious badass killer, the bad guys start fleeing, and they basically win when the summer, once the summer kicks off. But one of the sucky things about Helm is that going off into the night in the grief of his frustration, he is then, one night they hear his horn, and then the sun appears, and he is frozen solid and dead. But they have the legends that you can still hear his horn, and so it is named Helm's Deep, and thus force. And so remember how I told you in the beginning of this really, really, really summarized bad breakdown. So his nephew had fled into the mountains, and so now that it's summer, his nephew leaves the mountains, goes back to the castle, kills Wolf, takes back the castle, and Rohan is restored to its rightful heir to the throne. And he is Theoden from the actual Lord of the Rings, like great grandfather. And so this is what I said is going to be the big thing at the end. So if you don't want spoilers, I'm sorry, I kind of just spoiled you the story. But again, this is a really, really, in condensed summary of what's going to happen. And so the big thing that's going to happen at the end. So now the bad guys have been defeated. They've left Isengard. You know, anyone that's left, you know, went back up north, or, you know, back over to where they came before. And so somebody decides, hey, Isengard is empty. Well, then enters Saruman the White. Dun, dun, dun. So Saruman shows up at Rohan and is just like, yo, hello, I'm gonna go and take over Isengard, you know, this great tower that's there, and I'm going to, you know, basically be, you know, the white wizard that's ruling next to you. And they're like, yo, that's dope, awesome, welcome Saruman, that's awesome, we're gonna have a wizard close by, this is gonna be dope. Little did they know that the entire time he was plotting to, you know, work with you know, all of the people that they just worked on defeating. So when Saruman goes there, he takes over Isengard, and then the bad guys that came from the north, he starts collaborating with them as well as the other guys, and you know, uses the I always butcher how to pronounce this word, the Palanthri. I know I can't really say it, I'm sorry guys. And that's when he starts, you know, working with Mordor and Sauron and all of that good stuff and plotting. And so obviously by the time it gets to the Lord of the Rings era, he'd been working on that for what, over 260 something years. So I think that's going to be the big like thing at the end of this movie, is that Saruman is going to show up and everyone's going to be like, oh my god, and that'll be the big twist at the end for anyone that didn't know. But now that you guys have watched this video, you guys all do know if you didn't know already, and I totally spoiled it for you, so I will have to go put a spoiler warning earlier. But yeah, so I think it'll be cool to see an animated version. I am very, very happy about this whole thing at the end. Like, that, this is how they should have announced it to begin with. But I think it'll be interesting to see how they do an animated version of this. And considering it is like these epic battles, I do enjoy watching, you know, animes that are like that. So I think it'll be interesting. I have a little bit of hope, which, the way that, you know, entertainment industry goes, it's kind of bad to have hope nowadays, because they do like to tease you and then turn it into a shit show or make it a bait and switch. So I sincerely hope this isn't a bait and switch. I sincerely hope this is good, because this is a good story, and it will be interesting to see how this all plays out. But guys, let me know what you think about all of this in the comments below. Were you excited about this before I did this video, and now that you kind of know a little bit more of the backstory, are you know, more excited now? Let me know in the comment section below. If you guys like this video, go ahead and smash the like button. If you didn't, that's okay too. Thank you so much for watching this far through. And if you haven't already, maybe take a second, smash the subscribe button, ring that bell for notifications. Make sure your notifications are set to all. That way you actually get notifications when I put out other videos and live streams. And guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys all have a great rest of your day, morning, evening, afternoon, wherever you are in the world. And may the force be with you, because we are really, really, really going to need it. Bye, everyone. Hey everyone, before you go, I just wanted to let you know, if you didn't already, that I actually have a Twitch channel where I go live almost every single playing video games. I've been going through the original Star Wars, Knights of the Old Republic, KOTOR, so if you ever wanted to know more about KOTOR and you wanted to watch somebody play through it, I'm currently doing my Sith playthroughs right now. They're a lot of fun. We all hang out every single day, playing in the chat, and it's fun hanging out with all of you guys. And if you guys want to miss it, or if you missed it and you want to see it on the repeat, I actually have a live stream channel. This is my secondary channel, That's Star Wars Girl Live, where I re-upload all of my previous live streams. So if you ever wanted to see me live and you missed it, this is the channel to go on to go check out all of that content. Both of these are linked down below in the description of this video, so go check them out. Thank you everyone. Have a great rest of your day. Bye. Once again, thank you so much everyone for watching my channel and my content, and if you would like to support me further, go ahead and check out my Etsy, The Art of Anna TSWG, where I sell prints of my original oil paintings and drawings. I have a variety of characters, from landscapes to horror villains to Star Wars characters, DC and Marvel. So go check that out, and everyone have a wonderful day. Thank you.